excited. Can't wait to finally get this set up on the dyno. The car's never ran as good as it is, you know, right now, even without, just with a little bit of street tuning. And I just love the Holley software, the Holley Terminator setup. It's awesome. And then fixing this whole fuel distribution issue through the blower, the car's just night and day. And even the customer, my buddy Jay, took it just for a couple weeks in between the dyno sessions, because last time when I went to drive the dyno, I got there and the dyno was actually broken, so we had to just hold off. So I let him take it for a bit, turn the rev limiter way down so he wouldn't beat on it. Of course, as soon as he left, he hit the rev limiter, because the thing is just, it's a totally different car, and I warned him about that, and I don't think he fully believed how different it was, just power-wise and everything. So I think it's, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how much power it makes, but overall, just the drivability is so much better. Like, I'm just going to throw it in 5th gear, and you can just cruise this thing. It's, you know, I am worried, A, that we run out of fuel injector, B, that we're making too much boost. Again, this is just a pump gas deal. No methanol, no alcohol injection, no E85 around here, so we can't run on E85, which would have been really nice. But he just wants to run it on 94 pump gases, ones we have available at best around here. So, but it'll be interesting with the smaller cam, how much, you know, how much power it's going to make to the wheels. So it seems like it's pretty crazy, just with torque and everything. So we shall see. So I'm on my way there, and we'll start recording when we get there. Alright, for those who are new to the channel, are new to this, the videos about this engine or this car, this is an engine combination I built, and the car I built about, I think 2015-ish, and we've had issues with fuel distribution basically since we started this project and, you know, got it running. The car would idle fine, and full, like, wide open throttle was fine, but the fuel distribution through the blower, kind of drivability, was not great. The rear cylinders seemed to be going lean, and we were having issues with with drivability. So this new setup that you're going to see on the dyno here in the video is kind of me going through and fixing all those issues and changing things up, and doing a refresh on the engine. And this time we were, you know, trying to make the same power, but really kind of focus on drivability, because this is a street car. You know, it's not a race car, no roll cage or anything. It's a street car, and it's just some old school style muscle mixed with kind of a newer modern EFI. So the old setup, if you go back in my videos, I'll talk more about why I had issues with the fuel distribution through the blower, but that's basically what it was. So we went to, this is an EFI 671 blower. It has the fuel injectors built onto the side. We switched to Holley Terminator system instead of the throttle body injection from Fast, and I end up swapping the camshaft out to more of a mild camshaft, actually, to kind of bring up engine vacuum, which it actually did quite a bit, and the drivability is just unbelievable. So this is us actually, me taking it to the dyno and dynoing it to I was trying to really match the power it made before, because, like I said, at wide open throttle it actually worked pretty good, and it made decent power for the boost. So I was trying to match that power but get the drivability. So this is where we're at with this. So let's check it out. So that was the first full pull that you saw there, and before that we did some driving on the dyno. I was just checking my tune. It was actually not too bad, my street tune, and things were looking pretty good. So we did do went to attempt to do a full pull with less timing prior to this, but one of the things I was worried about actually did happen. We hit boost cut at 15 pounds of boost, which is our max for the map sensor that I'm running, and just kind of where I wanted to keep the car. I was hoping to run around 13 or so pounds of boost, because I figured with the cam change the boost would be up, but I was also hoping to run a little bit more with this different blower, to kind of compensate for the less cam to make up some power. But what ended up happening is it just made more boost than I anticipated, and we hit boost cut. So what I had to do, because I didn't have any more of these this style pulley, I had to end up just swapping the upper and lower pulley. So it went from 5% overdrive to 5% underdriven. So now the blower is actually spinning slower than the engine. Ideally, I think what would have been perfect is a 1-to-1, and that's probably what I'll come back to if I put this thing back on the dyno. I'll just do a 1-to-1 ratio, and I should put my boost right where I want it. But let's take a look at the power. All right, so after the pulley swap, some tuning, this is what we ended up making here. 500 foot-pounds of torque to the wheels at 4,400 and 528 horsepower up at 6,400. I did not meet my goal of 550 horsepower, but I think with if I went to the 1-to-1 pulley ratio and picked up a little bit more boost, we'd obviously see a little bit more power everywhere. That being said, this boost that it ended up making here was almost 11 pounds of boost, and I think if I was around where that 12 and a half, 13 pounds of boost that I wanted to, that's where we'd end up hitting our goal. So we might have to come back to that and get some pulleys and try some other stuff. But if you're wondering, the timing I end up putting into this thing, I kept playing with some timing and checking on knock, but we end up with the pump gas, we end up being pretty happy. This was with 28 degrees of timing, total timing. I tried to do more. I tried to do a little less and kind of play around to see. It seemed like 28 was the happiest. I did jump up when I was doing initial pulls to 23, or from 23, and kept going up in increments. And it was just diminishing results. At 28 was where it was most happy, and I just, being that is a pump gas deal, I thought it is the safest. I wasn't really seeing any real gains at 30 or 32 degrees of timing, so I just kept it at 28. So this is all she really had. As far as AFRs, I think I'd have to check back on my logs, but I think I kept it safe around 12-1. Again, tried playing with that and keeping an eye on knock, and it really made almost no difference. Going leaner or a little richer made almost no difference in power. The timing was, as always, it's always the timing that seems to make things really happy or make things really not happy. So I just kept it at a really safe 12-1 and 28 degrees timing, and this is what we ended up making. Okay, let's take a peek at the old setup versus the new setup. So remember, this is the same car, different blower, different cam, different fuel injection, also different dyno. Other than that, everything is basically the same. Pretty much what you'd expect from a cam swap. The orange here, its torque, is the new setup. The yellow is the old setup, and then blue is the old setup, and gray is the new setup. So what we traded off in torque, so 15 to almost 20 foot-pounds of torque we gained, but we traded off, this was 528 to 546, I think it was. So we traded off a little bit of horsepower for some torque, which is pretty normal when you swap to a milder cam. But this is actually, the old setup did run a little bit less boost at the same overdriven pulley ratio with the different blower. So what I was hoping for was, again, to run a little bit more boost, shift this whole curve, the gray curve, up a little bit and try to match the horsepower and then pick up the drivability and torque. We definitely picked up torque and we definitely picked up drivability by far, but we didn't quite make my goal of making the same power. I know it's dumb, but you always don't want to go down in power, especially peak power, even though really torque at the end of the day is what you really want, especially in a street car. Driving this thing it's insane now. It's actually kind of a sketchy car to drive. You can smoke the tires in like fourth gear on the highway because it is a stick car, which makes it really fun. But this is just a comparison. Take it as you will because it is a different dyno and stuff, but driving the car, I would have thought it made more power everywhere, even peak power, because the car's insane to drive now. So take this as you will, but I just wanted to show you a comparison of the two. So there you go, guys. We didn't quite hit my goal of 550 wheel horsepower, but we picked up some torque, and we really picked up some drivability. The car idles 12-13 inches of vacuum now. It's much easier to tune. It responds to tuning really well now, unlike it did before. It's amazing how many hours I had in trying to tune the car before. At the end of the day, when you have a mechanical issue with fuel distribution, really tuning, you're just trying to band-aid a problem that's there. So we fixed the fuel distribution. The car runs fantastic, it drives fantastic, and Jay's super happy with it. But for the people that stuck around to the end of the video here, I have a question for you. How much power do you think the filter screen cost? Because we did run it with and without the filter screen. And how much power do you think the scoop cost once we put the scoop on? Or if any power, did it make no difference? So we were bouncing ideas back and forth with each other at the dyno of how much we thought it would lose. So I thought I'd make a separate video, because I did talk about it in a prior video on how much I thought, what I thought the scoop and the air filter would do. Actually, the air filter, I didn't really talk about the scoop too much. But let me know what you guys think. I appreciate you checking out my videos, and if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please go ahead and do that. Thanks, guys.